On December 19th, 1997, Titanic officially hit the big screen and immediately became a global storm. The tragic love story between Jack and Rose not only moved hundreds of millions of viewers to tears, but also turned the film into a cinematic masterpiece with record revenue and 11 prestigious Oscar statues. Along with that resounding success, young faces such as Leonardo DiCaprio, Kate Winslet, and Billy Zane entered the ranks of Hollywood legends. If Gloria Stewart is the soul of Titanic in the present, then Kate Winslet is the burning heart of the film in the past. When she took on the role of Rose at the age of 21, Kate was just a young face with potential, but Titanic turned her into a global phenomenon, putting her name on par with the A-list stars of that time. The young, beautiful, and free-spirited Rose that Kate portrayed brought her the first Oscar nomination of her career and at the same time opened the door to a series of top roles. What is admirable about Kate Winslet is that after Titanic, she did not pursue the image of a commercial star, but steadfastly chose difficult scripts and complex characters to challenge her acting ability. She made a strong impression in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind 2004, as Clementine, a rebellious, individualistic, but inner-minded woman, helping Kate receive another Oscar nomination. In Little Children 2006, she transformed into a housewife trapped in a deadlocked marriage, a role that continued to affirm her acting depth. The peak of her career came in 2008 when Kate Winslet won the Oscar for her role as Hannah Schmitz in The Reader, a challenging role where she had to express many, complex emotions of a character with many hidden corners. In addition to the Oscar, she also owns a prestigious Emmy for the TV series Mildred Pierce 2011 and recently continued to conquer audiences and critics with Mayor of Easttown 2021, the film that helped her win the Emmy for the second time. Not only recognized by a series of prestigious awards, Kate Winslet is also famous for her daring spirit. Not afraid of challenges and sincerity in art, she is one of the few stars who can balance between art and commercial films, between the Hollywood halo and simple everyday life today. More than 25 years after Titanic, Kate Winslet still stands as a monument of contemporary cinema, proving that the resounding success in 1997 was just the beginning of a brilliant, sustainable, and profound career. If Rose is the heart of Titanic, then Jack Dawson is the passionate, free-spirited, and romantic soul of the film. That character was portrayed by Leonardo DiCaprio when he was only 22 years old, an age when few people expected him to leave such a deep impression. Before Titanic, DiCaprio was highly appreciated for his roles in Was Eating Gilbert Grape, 1993, Romeo Juliet, 1996. But it was the image of the poor painter Jack Dawson that brought him to global superstardom. With his handsome appearance, passionate eyes, and natural acting, Leonardo DiCaprio became the dream prince role model of millions of viewers. After the film, he not only became an icon of the 9X generation, but was also ranked among the most promising actors in Hollywood. However, instead of resting on Jack Dawson's halo, DiCaprio chose a different path, constantly challenging himself in heavy and complex roles. He collaborated with director Martin Scorsese on a series of masterpieces such as Gangs of New York, 2002, The Aviator, 2004, The Departed, 2006, and The Wolf of Wall Street, 2013, affirming his position as not only a box office star, but also a darling of critics. Over the years, DiCaprio has been nominated for an Oscar many times, but has never touched the golden statue, making him a failed lover of the Academy. It was not until 2016, with his harsh transformation in The Revenant, that he officially won the first golden statue of his career, a victory that was applauded by the entire film world. In addition to acting, Leonardo DiCaprio is also famous for his social activities. He is an enthusiastic environmental activist founding the Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation to protect nature and raise awareness about climate change. Today, Leonardo DiCaprio is not only remembered as the romantic Jack of yesteryear, but also as a living monument of Hollywood, an actor who dared to choose the difficult path, always changing, and leaving behind roles that will go down in cinema history. If Jack and Rose bring romantic love, Cal Hockley, Rose's rich and controlling fiancé, is the villain to highlight her desire for freedom. The role of Cal, played by Billy Zane, With his cold, aristocratic demeanor, arrogant eyes, and cruel domineering, has left a deep impression on the audience. Cal not only represents wealth and power, but also symbolizes the suffocating constraints that Rose wants to escape. Before Titanic, Billy Zane was known through films such as Dead Calm, 1989, or The Phantom, 1996. But it was Titanic that brought his name to the global audience. Although not a positive role thanks to his subtle acting, he turned Cal into one of the most hated men on screen at that time. After the resounding success of Titanic, many people thought that Billy Zane would rise strongly in Hollywood. However, his career took a different turn. He mainly participated in independent films, television series, or supporting roles in less famous works. Although he did not maintain the aura like DiCaprio or Winslet, Billy Zane still proved his enduring love for art. He also tried his hand at voice acting, film production, and even painting off-screen. Billy Zane also attracted attention because of his ups and downs in his personal life. He was once engaged to actress Kelly Brook, then had two daughters with his partner, Candace Neal. Although he is no longer at the peak of fame to the audience, Billy Zane will always be Cal Hockley, the proud aristocrat on the fateful ship who contributed to creating one of the greatest films of all time. Among the fictional characters in Titanic, Molly Brown is a real person. She was known as the unsinkable lady, thanks to her courage, strength, and optimism in the midst of disaster. In the film, that role was given to Kathy Bates, one of Hollywood's most veteran actresses. With her confident demeanor, strong voice, and approachable demeanor, Kathy Bates portrayed Molly Brown as a character that the audience both respected and loved. Although she only appeared in a supporting role, the unsinkable lady became a special highlight of Titanic, bringing a balance between tragedy and hope. Before Titanic, Kathy Bates was famous for her role in Misery, 1990, the film that helped her win the Oscar for Best Actress. That success turned Kathy Bates into a name that guaranteed heavy roles that required psychological depth. After Titanic, her career continued to flourish. Kathy Bates has participated in a series of large and small works from About Schmidt, 2002, a role that earned her an Oscar nomination, to many popular TV series such as American Horror Story, which helped her win another Emmy. Not only excelling in positive roles, Kathy Bates also stands out with thorny villains, proving her versatility and enduring appeal. Today, Kathy Bates is considered one of Hollywood's veteran actresses with a career spanning more than 4 decades and many prestigious awards. Although her age has made her appear less on the big screen, every time Kathy Bates returns, she still leaves a deep impression. For the audience, the image of the unsinkable lady on the Titanic will forever be a symbol of courage and will to live in Titanic. If Jack Dawson is the soul of Titanic, then Fabrizio, his Italian best friend, is the factor that brings laughter and innocence in the tense moments. With a witty voice and natural acting, Danny Nucci successfully portrayed the image of an enthusiastic Fabrizio dreaming of a new life in America. Although only a supporting role, Fabrizio still left a special mark in the hearts of the audience, thanks to his sincerity and close friendship with Jack. The moment this character passed away in the tragic shipwreck made many people cry, because it closed the hopeful dream that Fabrizio always cherished. For Danny Nucci, Titanic was a big turning point. After the movie, he continued to appear in many film and television projects, such as Eraser 1996, with Arnold Schwarzenegger, The Rock 1996, The Perfect Game 2009, Criminal Minds, CSI NY, and Castle. Although he did not become an A-list star, Danny Nucci still persistently pursued an acting career. Another important milestone in his career is the role of Mike Foster in the famous TV series, The Fosters, 2,132,018. This devoted father character helped Danny Nucci regain the attention of the audience and prove his versatile acting ability. In addition, Danny Nucci also participated in directing and producing films, showing his enduring passion for art. After more than 25 years, he is still a familiar face on the small screen, living a simple life far from the Hollywood spotlight, but always remembered for his role as Fabrizio, Jack Dawson's loyal companion on the legendary ship in Titanic. In Titanic, Bernard Hill transformed into Captain Edward Smith, an experienced leader, holding in his hands the fate of thousands of people on the ship known as Unsinkable. With a pensive gaze, a tough appearance, but still containing kindness, he successfully portrayed the image of a captain who was both proud and tragic. The moment Captain Smith quietly entered the cockpit, put his hand on the steering wheel, and accepted to go with the ship was one of the most heartbreaking scenes of Titanic. Without much dialogue, just with expression and silence, Bernard Hill made the audience cry clearly, feeling the helplessness, pain, and great sense of responsibility of a leader. Before participating in Titanic, Bernard Hill was already a familiar face in British cinema, standing out with his natural and powerful acting ability. However, Titanic brought him closer to a global audience, opening up new opportunities for him in Hollywood. The next peak in Bernard Hill's career was the role of King Theoden in The Lord of the Rings. From a weak king manipulated by a curse, to a strong rise leading the Rohan army into the Battle of Helms. Deep Bernard Hill turned Theoden into a symbol of courage and honor. Thanks to him, this character became one of the most beloved images in the entire series. Not only an actor, Bernard Hill is also an artist who devoted his whole life to art. He was not noisy, not ostentatious, but each role left a deep impression enough to be engraved forever in the hearts of the audience. In May 2024, Bernard Hill passed away at the age of 79. His passing was a great loss to the world cinema, but the image of Captain Edward Smith standing tall in the middle of the sea or King Theoden riding into battle will forever be immortal on the silver screen. The artistic legacy that Bernard Hill left behind is proof that a true actor does not need to be a noisy star. Just a few memorable roles are enough to live forever in the hearts of fans. Besides the emotional main characters, the audience also paid special attention to J. Bruce Ismay, the director of the White Star Line, who was portrayed as a coward disregarding the lives of passengers to find a way to escape. It was Jonathan Hyde who brought a powerful performance to this role. With his panicked eyes, anxious appearance, and selfish actions, Hyde successfully portrayed an infuriating character. Many Titanic viewers still remember the image of Ismay sitting quietly on a lifeboat, avoiding the accusing gazes from all sides. This role not only highlighted the contrast between courage and cowardice, but also contributed to the depth of the film. Jonathan Hyde was already a veteran in the British film and drama industry. Before Titanic, he made his mark with roles in Jumanji, 1995, and Richie Rich, 1994. After the resounding success of Titanic, Hyde continued to appear in many major projects such as Anaconda, 1997, The Mummy, 1999, as well as participating in acting in television and stage productions. Off-screen, he is also a member of the Royal Shakespeare Company, proving that his acting talent is not only limited to cinema, but also spread strongly on the stage today. Although no longer a prominent name on Hollywood star rankings, Jonathan Hyde still maintains a lasting career, respected by audiences and colleagues. The image of J. Bruce Ismay through his subtle acting is still one of the most impressive and controversial supporting characters in Titanic. Besides the romantic love story of Jack and Rose, the audience certainly cannot forget Ruth DeWitt Bukater, Rose's haughty aristocratic mother. This character was convincingly portrayed by Frances Fisher with a luxurious appearance, a cold voice, and a calculating gaze. Ruth represents the social pressure and stifling class constraints that Rose has to endure. Her coercion when forcing her daughter to marry Cal Hockley to preserve the family reputation is the catalyst that makes Rose desire to escape from her constrained life and find free love with Jack. With her delicate acting, Frances Fisher turned Ruth into one of the most hated characters in the film, but at the same time left a strong impression on the audience. Before Titanic, Frances Fisher had a career spanning Broadway and American television. After the success of the role of Ruth, she continued to assert herself with a series of film and television projects. Frances has appeared in many notable works, such as Clint Eastwood's Unforgiven, 1992, The Shield, 2007, Resurrection, 2014, Watchmen, 2019, and most recently, The Sinner. Although not reaching the superstar level of Leonardo DiCaprio or Kate Winslet, Frances Fisher impresses with her durability and diversity. She is often assigned to roles of mothers, strong women, or complex personalities, helping to create depth for the work. More than 25 years after Titanic, Frances Fisher is still active in the entertainment industry, both acting in films and participating in social activities. For many audiences, she is forever the image of the aristocratic Mother Ruth, a symbol of the harsh class pressures on the fateful ship. In Titanic, the image of Rose in her old age, a gentle woman living with the memories of an immortal love, left an indelible mark on the audience. That role was played by veteran actress Gloria Stewart when she was 87 years old, with a gentle voice, distant eyes, and a smile that contained her feelings. Gloria Stewart not only transformed into Rose in her old age, but also became the soul that connected the audience with an immortal love story. The role of Rose in her old age brought Gloria Stewart a prestigious Oscar nomination, making her one of the oldest actresses ever honored at this noble award. Although she had a career spanning many decades before it was Titanic, that was the brilliant milestone that helped Gloria Stewart's name shine, again and deeply engraved in the history of world cinema. After that resounding success, she continued to participate in a number of artistic projects, but the image of Rose in her old age became an immortal symbol associated with the name Gloria Stewart. In 2010, she passed away at the age of 100, closing a century of dedication. That departure left endless sorrow for the audience and the film industry. But more than 25 years since Titanic was released, every time the film is mentioned, people still cannot help but feel moved when remembering Rose, a woman at the end of her life with eyes filled with memories of an immortal love. In Titanic, Bill Paxton plays Brock Lovett, a modern explorer who leads a search for the legendary sunken ship at the bottom of the ocean. Right from the opening minutes, his character sets the stage for the entire story. It is the journey to dive into the rotten ship that connects the audience with the character Rose in her old age, opening up a memory of the eternal love between Jack and Rose. Brock Lovett is not the main character, but the way Bill Paxton portrays him is very ordinary. A somewhat ambitious man eager to find treasure, then gradually changes when listening to Rose's story, from skepticism to choking emotion. Paxton's character is an important bridge to help the audience feel the weight of history and the eternal love hidden deep inside that ship. In addition to Titanic, Bill Paxton is a familiar face in Hollywood cinema in the 80s, and he has appeared in many famous films, such as Aliens, 1986, Twister, 1996, Apollo, 13, 1995, and True Lies, 1994. With the ability to play a variety of roles from brave warriors, comedians to introspective men, Paxton always brings closeness and authenticity that makes the audience love him. His career is not limited to cinema. Bill Paxton also succeeded in the television field, especially with the HBO series Big Love, where he played a complicated polygamist. This role helped him receive many prestigious Golden Globe nominations. However, behind the screen, Paxton is known as a warm, humble, and emotional person. He is always respected by friends and colleagues for his dedication to the profession and gentle personality. Unfortunately, in 2017, Bill Paxton passed away after a heart surgery at the age of 61. His sudden passing shocked fans in Hollywood. Many big stars expressed their condolences, calling him a beautiful soul of Hollywood. Today, every time audiences rewatch Titanic and see the image of Brock Lovett attentively listening to Rose talk about the glorious days of the past, people not only remember a character, but also remember Bill Paxton, a talented actor, a kind person, leaving an indelible mark in the hearts of fans. Behind the glory of Titanic is James Cameron, an ambitious director, screenwriter, and producer. He not only created one of the greatest romantic disaster films in history, but also proved that cinema can touch the hearts of millions of people around the world. When he embarked on the Titanic project, Cameron was considered a reckless person. The film had a budget of more than 200 million USD, an unprecedented record in the 1990s, causing many to believe that this would be the shipwreck of Hollywood. However, with extraordinary vision and perseverance, Cameron turned Titanic into a global phenomenon, bringing home 11 Oscars, including Best Picture and Best Director. Not stopping there, James Cameron continued to affirm his position with a series of revolutionary blockbusters. Avatar 2009 and Avatar: The Way of Water. 2022 broke box office records, making him a rare director, with three works in the top highest-grossing films of all time: Titanic, Avatar, Avatar 2. What makes Cameron special is the perfect combination of technology and emotion. He has always been a pioneer in applying filming techniques, visual effects, and 3D technology, but has never let technical factors overshadow the human story. This has turned his works into historical milestones, both visually stunning and imbued with emotion. Today, James Cameron is not only considered one of the greatest directors of all time, but also an inventor and ocean explorer. As his famous saying goes, "I'm the king of the world." Cameron has been and is truly at the pinnacle of Hollywood. Titanic is not just a movie, but also a part of the memories of an entire generation. After more than 25 years, the legendary ship is still anchored in the hearts of the audience, and the stars who participated have also gone through many turns in life. Some shined at the peak of their careers, some quietly retreated, even leaving us forever. But all of them left an immortal mark, contributing to creating an irreplaceable masterpiece. Replaceable masterpiece. Replaceable masterpiece.